So having a little wireless connection issue this morning. Maybe we've got this fixed. Hopefully we're in a place where we can make this work. So let Facebook build a little audience here. It's going to be noisier here. I try to get just around the corner so we don't have the noise and all of that taking place. But let's see. Last time it bailed on me right about now. So let's see if we are going to be able to get an audience. There we go. Walter's on. So good. Ramona's coming. Let's see. Good. Now we're getting people to join us. So before that little bleep a minute ago, good morning, Hillary. That little bleep a while ago was because apparently Facebook didn't like what I was doing at the moment. So I'm trying to get in a spot here where you can kind of see. All right, good. Excuse me. All right, let's see if we can get started here. The noise. I talked about noise yesterday and how important it is that we get past the noise. Well, today I want to talk about shutting off the noise. And I want to give you some suggestions as to why and where it comes from and see what we can do. Because honestly, the noise gets in our way and it keeps us from being able to be effective. I'm going to take my glasses off. So maybe I'll be able to see the comments. I don't know. We'll try this for a minute because I'm not liking the glare coming off my pickup truck over here. But let's talk about the noise for just a moment. We live in a very, very noisy environment. Lots and lots of stuff going on. My daughter has moved. Excuse me. My daughter has moved from where they were living in Illinois. They're on their way to Lacey, Washington, and I got a bad cough this morning. And on the way to her house when they lived in Illinois, my wife and I would always stop on the way and on the way back at Cadiz, Kentucky, which is about, it seems to be about halfway from our house to where she was at. And so we would stop there, usually for lots of reasons that you have to stop when you're on the road. And so we would stop there, and there was they had the most interesting thing in their parking lot. They had an old Bell South phone booth with a pole over the top of it with a light. Now, the phone's been gone forever. The sign's faded away, but that sign still sits. All that stuff still sits in the parking lot at Cadiz. And I got in the habit of stopping there every time we went by, and I would pull up underneath where that light would have been over the phone booth, like I was pulling into the phone booth, and just sit there. And I would think about back when the only contact that you had with people was to stop at a phone booth like that. And that would remind me of when times were a little bit simpler. Things were a little easier. Stuff was a little slower. And it's kind of fun to do that. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it anymore because my daughter's moved, and so I won't do that anymore. But sometimes we need to shut the noise off. And today I want to talk about shutting the noise off. We live in a time when people can reach you instantly. I looked at a list of comments and complaints this morning on a particular software platform. And the people that were there that were complaining because their question didn't get answered fast enough. And the support tickets said, we'll respond within 24 to 48 hours. But because they saw somebody make a comment on Facebook, they thought that they should get their support ticket answered immediately because they saw the comment. Now, that's setting yourself up for frustration. That's setting yourself up for a fall. That's setting yourself in a position where you're going to get frustrated. And we have the ability to contact people immediately, but sometimes those contacts need to be limited. And we need to limit those contacts ourselves so that we can live in a quieter world, that we can get past the noise. I don't need to jump on every live feed and cheer everybody on and say all the stuff that people say and all the things that it's not going to help me. It's not going to help me in any way. I've had to make some decisions along the way. I used to be a news junkie. I've told you this before. I used to be a news junkie. And I watched the news, I listened to the news, I had the news playing in my vehicle when I would drive. I would check the news, I would sit in the front of the monitors in the airports and I would check the news. And one day I realized this is wasting your time. This is absolute waste of your time. You're never going to be anything other than a fan if you don't get out from in front of that noise that's going on. And so I had to put that aside. I had to make some decisions. I'm not gonna watch. I haven't watched the news in years. I did turn on the election results for about 2 hours the night of the election. So I do that a couple of hours once every 4 years. That's about it for me. I prefer not to hear that noise because that noise doesn't help me either. It's not noise that helps me grow a business. It's not noise that can be beneficial. I looked at my inbox the other day and there's a whole lot of noise that's going on inside the inbox, and I've got 18 people promoting to me exactly the same product, and I'm going, why? What's the point in this? You know, do I want to be, and I see people trying to get to be the next guy. You know, let me jump in and do this too. Let me jump in and offer to my list of people the same thing that everybody else is doing. And trying to compete in that world is noise. It's just noise most of the time. Most of the time. There's some very successful affiliates. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not putting that down. I just want you to understand that we have a lot of noise, and we need to reduce the amount of noise that comes in. I stop now. Is it important for me to pay attention to things that go on in my world? Absolutely. Do I have to listen to the same thing over and over and over again on the news channel in order to get that? No. No. What I do is I set up a Google alert for it. If this is important, I set up a Google alert and I'll get notified, and then I can quickly scan through that and go, that one's important, the rest of it's just junk. And so I've carefully chosen what noise I let in, and couldn't control that one. I carefully control what noise I let in. I'm being careful and deliberate. Let's see, Paula James making a comment here, and I need to see what that is. You're making my point exactly, Paula. Thank you. She says, I've been missing in action because I've been working on reducing the noise. That's what we have to do. We have got to figure out how to reduce the noise so we can focus our attention. If we can reduce the noise so we can focus our attention, then we can accomplish more in less time, and we can accomplish more with less. For the last couple of years, nope, I don't check into Drudge. That to me was too much. That's noise overwhelm. Yeah, noise is a roadblock to solutions. You're exactly right, Jeremy. Noise is a roadblock to solutions. It keeps me from being able to provide solutions. And what the world really needs is solutions. I've started using the hashtag solutions, not situations. And we've got to focus our attention on the things that will help us to be real problem solvers. And listening to politics, the latest thing that's going on in the political realm doesn't help me to be a problem solver. I can't fix that. I'm not going to fix Washington, and I'm not going to fix people's opinions about it. So I'm very careful about how much noise I have in my world. And I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Because if we can get past the noise, as Jeremy said, then we can get to the point where we can provide solutions. Then we can focus our attention on the solutions. Okay? So today I wanted to talk about shutting off the noise. Sometimes we need to shut off the noise. Sometimes there are people who are noisy and we need to shut them off. You know, our social media doesn't demand that we respond to everything that everybody posts. I'm amazed at how many people will post because they saw the headline and don't have a clue what the article was about. That's noise. That's nonsense. And it doesn't accomplish anything. And if we're going to be problem solvers, we got to look past that. And we got to find a way to be able to provide real solutions to real issues that you come in contact with every day. And most of the rest of this doesn't have anything to do with that. It really has absolutely nothing to do with that. So, sometimes we have to shut off the noise. And for me, parking underneath that light at the old phone booth was a reminder of a quieter time when we didn't have as much noise, and we still got a lot done. We still were able to accomplish things. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do today, is find a way to shut off the noise. I'm gonna have to shut it off because I got a train coming and it's really noisy. All right, thank you for joining me today. Love you, appreciate all the comments. Be sure and comment. I'll be responding to the comments in just a few minutes. The noise. I'll be responding to those comments in just a few minutes. I appreciate your comments, and I thank you so much for what you're doing. Love you. Look forward to joining you tomorrow from the coffee shop, okay?